doing something that is such a monumental task. So it's been more than 72 years. The Air Force, I believe, was the last one. And so we have Air Force, and not since the Air Force has anything like this happened. And now we have Space Force added on with full honors, I must add, with full honors. So today we're here for a very important, it's really an important occasion because we're unfurling the flag. And with us is Chief Master Sergeant Roger Toberman. And he is, I'd like you to say exactly, because his rank is a very special rank. Tell us about that rank.
Yes, sir. I'm the Senior Enlisted Advisor for the United States Space Force.
The highest sergeant by far, right?
Yes, sir. And at the moment, the only one. So I give counsel to the Secretary and to the Chief.
This rank is custom designed.
Wow, that's beautiful. Wow, that's it.
And he's the only airman that wears that rank, and will be the only airman that wears that rank. He's the Senior Enlisted.
That's fantastic, and I heard tremendous things about you, Roger.
Thanks.
It's a very important position. Thank you. You're with all these generals, but you know what? He's an important guy, right? So why don't we go ahead and do it? Let's do it. Yes, please.
Thank you.
That's fantastic, Roger. And I'll walk over. That is great. If you stay right there. That's a big day. That's a big day.
Can somebody explain the logo?
General Raymond? Please. So the Delta in the middle is a symbol that the space community has used for years and years and years. The North Star signifies our core value, our guiding light, if you will. And the orbit around the globe signifies the space capabilities that fuel our American way of life and our American way of war.
That's great. I'm going to do this one.
Would you like to know more?
The UFO investigators have failed to find a rational explanation for Matt Reed's memory loss.
We now have no good explanation to take to these two guys about what happened to them.
Or his puncture marks.
The holes that were found in his chest, what do you think about that?
What I saw was evidence of something like a scalpel.
What we possibly may have here is a case of alien harvesting.
Now, Daryl believes the marks found on both brothers after their alleged abductions could have been caused by alien harvesting.
Now, harvesting is a term that implies, you're like, when you say harvesting, I think of somebody's harvesting my kidney. You wake up in an ice bath. What are we talking about here in the history of ufology?
Harvesting is when the alien takes parts or pieces of skin, sometimes it's blood, sometimes it's a scoop mark.
So they're taking what, human body parts, tissue samples, is that what's going on?
They are doing at least that. Some people suggest that there's an involvement of some type of genetic manipulation.
On the whole, what this means is that ETs are carrying out certain procedures on human beings to evaluate things.
If the Reeds were victims of alien harvesting, Stephen wants to know more about the phenomenon and what implications it has on abduction cases in Indiana and elsewhere.
I'm more and more convinced that there's ET harvesting connected with these cases. I have a contact called Timothy Good, and he's an expert in this field. I believe by talking to him, he's going to be able to shed some light on what this is all about and explain why ETs are taking blood and tissue from human beings. So this new case that you've been investigating, is this the one where the young lady was cured of cancer?
Yes, absolutely.
Author Timothy Good has been investigating cases of abduction and alien harvesting for over 50 years, interviewing hundreds of eyewitnesses, as well as being leaked top secret government information.
Now, Tim, the case that we're currently working on, two brothers, the Reed brothers, that have had missing time, puncture marks, tissue taken. Do you know of any other cases that are similar?
Well, there's a case in 2002 involving Chris Augustin, who claims to have had missing time, strange marks, for example. He woke up with a triangular-shaped bruise, as you can see here. There was also a series of puncture marks in a line here, which are interesting.
Just like the Reed case. Those sort of marks, is that pretty typical of what contact experiencers have on their body after an event?
Certainly involving abductions. There have been many cases of triangular marks, circular marks, and other types of strange marks which are inexplicable.
What other cases do you have that fit this?
There's a famous case from 1957, Antonio Villas Boas, who was abducted, taken on board a craft. Puncture marks were also found on him, where they had perhaps taken blood samples from him, according to this doctor here.
So this is his doctor examining him after the event?
There were actually two doctors who examined him in Brazil, and one of them was a friend of mine, a colleague, and he was absolutely convinced this was a genuine case.
With regards to all these cases, especially the Reed case, why is this tissue being taken?
I would think something to do with DNA, because I have been reliably informed by a Washington source that there is a hybridization program in process. A group of aliens plan to produce hybrids, combination of human beings and their own beings. If what I've learned is true, there is an intention on the part of these hybridizing species to take over the planet.
Wow. So this hybrid program that's going on, where is it going on? Because I can't see it.
There are huge underground bases under our oceans and underground in various countries.
Do you think it's because this race of aliens can't live on this planet?
That's what I have been told in Washington. The aliens have apparently created a hybridized species so that they can survive much better on the surface of this planet than hunkered down in their alien bases.
So Tim, is it possible that there are hybrids walking down the streets of this town today?
Definitely.
Do you think this hybrid program could possibly have benefits for the human race? Could this be the next stage in our evolution?
Goodness knows what that could mean. Are we going to have thousands of aliens trying to be in charge of our planet? I don't know.
Who knows about it? Does my Prime Minister know about it? Does the American President know about it?
If there was one Prime Minister, I would say Margaret Thatcher, because she got to know Reagan very well, and Reagan himself had been briefed on the alien situation, and I'm quite sure that he would have discussed it with Margaret Thatcher. There's no question that a number of people have been very well informed.
Why do you think certain parties would want to keep this secret?
Because it's too shocking.
What's shocking about it?
What, the fact that there's a race of beings trying to take over this planet? Yeah. I think a lot of people would find that quite disturbing.
After speaking with Timothy Good, I realised the experiences of the Reed brothers is not exclusive to them. They are being harvested for DNA, for blood, for tissue, and that is happening to thousands of people all around the world. The ETs are taking this stuff and creating hybrid programs in bases underneath the ground, underneath the water. The scariest thing for me is that people in our governments know about this. This goes right to the top. He said, Tim Good said that Maggie Thatcher knew about this, Ronald Reagan knew about this, and who knows about this now?